President Trump on the White House South Lawn as he gets ready to board Marine One with a couple of big personnel announcements. He's nominated a longtime Washington attorney and former Attorney General William Barr to be his next Attorney General in a move that will have to be confirmed by the Senate. And for UN Ambassador, he tapped the current spokeswoman for the State Department, Heather Nauert, who is also a former Fox News anchor and correspondent. So let's stick with Pete Williams here on the issue of the Department of Justice. Needless to say, this is an incredibly consequential pick. How do you think it will be received?
Well, he's already been confirmed once. You know, we saw a lot of him this week when all the Bush 41 alumni were here in Washington. We saw a lot of Bill Barr in those gatherings at the Capitol and at the National Cathedral in the funeral and memorial services for President Bush. He's 68 years old. He worked in the CIA for a time. He was the acting Attorney General, then the Attorney General under the first Bush administration. So he's somebody who knows the department very well. He would not have a recusal issue because, of course, he did not campaign for the president. There are no conflicts that would force him to recuse himself from overseeing the Mueller investigation. I think it's an interesting timing here, Savannah, because I think for a while the prevailing thought was that the administration would not put someone forward for Attorney General now until after the Mueller report comes out, because in the confirmation hearing, the main question is going to be, will you keep hands off Bob Mueller? Will you let him do his job? Will he be safe with you? Did you swear any loyalty to the president to ride herd on him? That's what the confirmation hearing is going to be all about. So I think the timing is interesting that they've decided to go ahead with this. Matt Whitaker will continue to serve as acting Attorney General until someone is confirmed, if it in fact is Bill Barr.
And of course, this is all because of the replacement of Jeff Sessions, the former Attorney General, whom the president had certainly registered his displeasure with over the course of months. Pete, thank you so much.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.